Today we're going to be talking about some routes that you will see on a college level route tree, and then we're going to be giving you some great drills to work on each one of these routes. So how this video is going to go down is I'm going to talk about a specific route. I'm going to break down the technique of the route, and then I'm going to show you a full speed example of the route, then proceed to show you guys a drill with a full speed example of that drill to work on this specific route and skill. So the first route we're going to be going over today is called a post out route. Now a post out, there are a few different names for it, right? So you have a regular old post out. That's, I would say, probably the simplest name for it. Some people call this a blaze out, and we're going to talk about why it's called a blaze out. Then some people call this a martini route because it kind of looks like a martini glass, if you will. But there are many different names for this route, but I go by it or call it by a post out. So a post out is just like a post corner. Let's say I'm breaking it probably about 8 to 10 yards. I'm going up till 8, and then I'm going to be breaking to the post. So we're trying to take a DB who is in off coverage and draw him down on this post route. So when I break to this post out, it is 3 steps to the post. So I break here, it's 1, 2, 3, then I drop my hips and I cut back 90 degrees to this out route. We're obviously assuming that the quarterback is to my left. Now, what are some things you want to focus on? What are the technique of this, right? So you come out, you break to the post. First thing that needs to snap around is my eyes. I got to snap my eyes to the quarterback because that will help me bring my hips and my shoulders to this post. If I have a DB who's in off coverage, maybe he's an off man, maybe he's in zone, when he's taking a peek at us or looking at us, he is watching my hips. So it is very, very important that when I break to the post, my hips and my shoulders, my body language is committed. And me snapping my eyes is a great way to help with that. Now, 2 things that a DB will look for when they're expecting a double move is that when you break to this post, and this goes for a post corner, a slant and go, and out and up, even if you don't have this post out in your playbook, it could still help you. When I break to this post, they're looking for a change in stride. Guys love to take choppy steps and not gain ground. We gotta have long strides. Then they also look for a change in speed. Break to the post, we kind of slow down, and then we break back to the out route. Can't have that. It's gotta be full speed, full stride, committed body language. Now, why do they call it a blaze out? A blaze out is essentially where you take 3 steps to get you back to this out route portion of this, right? So that's why you'll hear the name blaze out. That just know that that is a post out, okay? So now, when you break into that, you take 3 steps to the post, 1, 2, 3. You drop on the 3rd step. You're dropping your hips, you're bringing your chest to your quad. 2nd step has to pivot, 3rd step hooks, push off the 3rd step, and that gets you back to that 90-degree angle where we can expect the ball from the quarterback. So like I said, I'm gonna show you how this route will look full speed, and then we'll get into some drills. Now, before we get into the full speed example of a post out, guys, if you're a receiver and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches this offseason, we are coming out to 13 more states across the country for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camp. So check out that very first link in the description below if you guys would like some more information on how you can sign up in the states that we are going to. Next up on our camp tour, we'll be coming out to Las Vegas, Nevada, then Charlotte, North Carolina, Portland, Oregon, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, Chicago, Illinois, Buffalo, New York, Atlanta, Georgia, Houston, Texas, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Detroit, Michigan, Boise, Idaho, and Los Angeles, California. So again, guys, if you'd like some more information, want to learn how you can sign up, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get back to this video. So this drill for the post out route is going to be working on like the blaze portion of the out, where we are taking 3 steps to get me back on that 90-degree angle. So what you're gonna do, you need a cone set up right here, and you're just gonna be working on the pivot step and the hook step while you are in a low body language position. So like I break to this post out, on my 3rd step, you are dropping your hips, your 2nd step pivots, 3rd step hooks. We are working on the pivot and the hook, but while we pivot and hook, guys, we can't stand straight up in the air. I can't break to this post route, go 1, 2, drop, and then stand up because I'm not gonna have any drive out of the break. Guys, you wanna get separation by selling the post, but we wanna keep it by driving out of the break. So this drill kind of works on the foot placement there. So all you do is you need a cone here. We are going to just simply fall forward, chest leaning forward, and this forces us to get to that low body language position that we need to get to. So we're here, we fall forward, we're going to just pivot, hook. That's all we were going to do. And we were going to try to get my toes even with this cone, and we were trying to stay in a low explosive position. Chest should be somewhat touching your quads almost. And you're going to hold it. Then you're going to come back. You do the exact same thing again. You're going to fall forward, pivot, hook, and just hold it like in this position. So you want to do, I would say, about 8 to 10 reps where you pivot left then right, and then 8 to 10 reps where you fall and you pivot right then left. So we're going to show you how this drill can look full speed to work on the pivot and the hook step that you need on a post out. So this next route we're going to be talking about today is something called a jerk route. So this is essentially like a whip route, but you're adding an extra step, if you will, and it builds off of the whip route that you guys have all probably seen before, right? So let's say I come off the ball and I'm running just a normal whip, right? So a normal whip building off of a 3-step slant. So I come off, 1, 2, 3, I take 3 steps to the slant. 1, 2, 3, 4, I drop and I come back out on a whip route. Now a jerk route is where you're essentially trying to sell the whip, 1 extra step, and then you cut back to the inside. So this is a great route, I guess you could say, if it's schemed, but also you guys can kind of use this if maybe you're out of the slot and you have an option route. This is kind of a move that you could almost use. So a jerk route is where you come off and you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 drop, 4 hook, jab, come back to the inside. So it's like kind of just like you could build off that whip with a slant, running a slant, running a slant. Maybe we get down to the goal line, we run a whip. Maybe it's like 3rd and short, we run a whip again. Maybe it's 3rd and short again, and instead of a whip, we run the jerk route to get me some separation to the inside. So I'm going to show you how this route is going to look full speed, and then we're going to go into a couple drills that will help you with this move. So this drill is going to be working on the last 2 steps of a jerk route, and us necessarily flipping my hips to be able to sell the whip route, right? So on a jerk route, what are we doing? We're trying to sell a whip, right? So I take 3 steps to the slant, 1, 2, I drop. This step after is the most important step because that's what makes the defender think that I'm running a whip. I drop, I need to hook this around and try to get my hips parallel to the line of scrimmage. So when I'm parallel to the line of scrimmage, it makes it easy to throw a move, but it also helps us sell the whip route even more. So that's what this drill is going to be working on. So you need 4 cones. You're obviously going to work this on both sides, and we're going to show this full speed, but you're here and you're just going to flip, right? So you're going to try to literally almost turn your foot to where your toe is facing behind you. You're obviously not going to get to there, but that's the mindset that we want to have with my hips. So I come back, flip, come back again, you're going to flip, jab, come back over the middle. And if you have a quarterback, maybe he stands to the left, throws you a ball, whatever the case may be. You don't need a quarterback for this drill because obviously it's working on my footwork. But again, all we were doing is we're coming out here, it's flip, 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 jab, cut back over to the inside. So I'm going to show you how this will look full speed. I want to do about 6 to 8 reps of this on each side. Now, before we get into the full speed example of this drill, if you are a wide receiver and you would like 200 plus wide receiver on-field route running drills, press release drills, and catching drills that you could do, check out that second link in the description below for our 8-week on-field wide receiver workout plan. We literally break it down. Monday, you should be doing these drills. Tuesday, you're doing this. Wednesday, doing this. And we give you a video example of each specific drill. So if you guys want to improve your route running, your hands, your press releases, check out that second link in the description below, you guys. Let's get back to this video. This next route we're going to be going over is something called a come back and go route. So this is a route that a lot of wide receivers use this in the wrong situation. This is a very popular route to use in like one-on-ones, right? But again, in one-on-ones, man-to-man coverage, unless it's like a 2-man situation where they're not bringing a heavy pass rush, we're probably not going to have time for this route. At a collegiate level, this route will be called when it's maybe a play action. We got max protection. What that means is where we have 2 tight ends in, we have 5 offensive linemen, 2 tight ends, and they're blocking for me. So I have 7 or 8 guys, including a running back, blocking for me, where we have some time to let the receivers work this route. But it's pretty much exactly how it sounds. You are selling a comeback, and then you are breaking back up vertical. And we're going to give you a drill to work on this as well. So you come off, you're going to be breaking, ideally, this is ideally, it doesn't have to always be like this, but ideally you are breaking on your inside foot when you run this route. So we're bursting up. You guys are going to snap down about 12 to 15 yards on this inside foot. Now, this kind of builds off of the very first route that we talked about, that post out, and the drill for the post out when it comes down to that pivot and hook step. So you snap, and this is a perfect world with perfect steps. It doesn't always have to be like this. It won't always be like this because you might have a guy on your hip. It might be against press coverage. You might have to make a move, whatever. But this is in a perfect world how it's drawn up. So we snap down on the inside foot. Your second step pivots. Third step hooks, jab step. And the pivot and hook step get your hips flipped to sell this comeback route to this DB. Then off of this jab step, we push back up vertical and run the go portion of this route. So it's a 4-step break. So you're running downfield, 1, 2, 3, 4, head down, push back up vertical. So again, I'm going to show you how this will look full speed, and then we'll get into a drill to work on it. Now this drill, I call this a run and drop drill, and it works on you guys being able to decelerate right on a dime, right off of a specific step. So you don't need a partner for this drill. There are partner variations of this drill, but we're gonna do it like you're solo, don't have anybody there with you. But on a come back and go route, right, it's very, very important that we decelerate before I take my 4 steps to draw this DB in. You can't run a come back and go if you're at 12 to 15 yards and you break and you're really, really tall and you're drifting upfield and then you make a cut. It's gonna take too long and we're not gonna be explosive. When you get to that 12 to 15 yards, we gotta be able to drop. And usually this route is ran against a zone coverage DB. And in college, when you're running routes against a zone coverage DB, your routes are based off of steps. So what do I mean by that? So when you break, it's not gonna be, hey, go break at 12. I say 12 to 15 so you guys know what I'm talking about, but usually what it is, you're breaking off of like your 3rd inside step, your 4th inside step. So let's say the quarterback's to my left foot's up, that's my inside foot. So I'm only counting the steps that I take with my inside foot. Now, are people in an actual game counting steps? No. They've repped it out a million times. They've done a million reps in practice, so it's natural, it's instinctual, but the routes are off of steps. Quarterbacks expect you to break at a specific time. So this helps you with that. On a come back and go, you're probably gonna end up breaking on your 4th inside or your 3rd inside step, depending on the depth. So set go, you would come out, that's 1, that's 2, 3 inside steps. That's the trigger step and that's what slows you down. Again, if it's man-to-man coverage, all that changes because you have to do a release, you might have to fight hands, and you can't exactly count steps. That's when it's more of a landmark. But again, zone, it's off of steps. So this drill helps us break on a specific step. So literally all you're doing, you just need maybe about 20 yards of space, set go, you're just gonna drop down and decelerate on the 3rd inside. We're not worried about selling anything, we're not worried about getting out of anything. So set go, you come off as hard as you can. 1, 2, 3, and we just decelerate and drop down to work on me using my hips to slow down, not so much changing my speed, chopping my feet, or ultimately not getting low enough at the break, which causes extra time. So I'm gonna show you how this should look full speed. You wanna do about 6 to 7 reps of this drill.